Okay, my bad. It was a little technical difficulties there. We gonna jump right into this.
This is what I wanted everybody to see on my video last night. As you can see, I turned up the exposure on this video in one specific spot where I pointed that I know I saw something last night. There were a pair of lights that went up here, over here, and then it kept switching branches. And then it just sat down right here. And you can clearly see when the exposure is risen that there is something sitting down on that branch. And then when it stood up, it was about 7 feet tall. And everybody keeps trying to say, oh, well, it was an owl. What owl, first of all, is camouflaged? And what owl is 7 feet tall? And then some people are trying to compare my video to a video that I didn't even know existed, which, come to find out, it's 4 years old, by the way. And no, it's not motherfucking monkeys. I'm in Mississippi for the holidays. It is not motherfucking South Carolina. That dude even admitted that he was lying, so this has no correlation with anything that I caught on camera last night. But you can clearly fucking see that I caught something on motherfucking camera. And I don't know how people aren't hearing the noises in the video. When I turn the video all the way up, you can hear something screeching in that tree. Not just that, but you can see more than one of those things, whatever the fuck they are. I mean, I don't know what's camouflaged and 7 feet fucking tall, but you can see more than one in the tree fucking with me. They were literally watching me. And then shit was walking on my motherfucking roof all night. It was fucking weird as fuck. I stayed up until 2 a.m., okay, trying to get these things on camera. And no, I don't have a motherfucking flashlight. I had to go over to my neighbor's house and get myself a flashlight. And when I just so happened to shine it on the roof or on the branches, there was nothing there. I'm just as confused as anybody else that was watching that video. I had no idea what I saw last night. I have no idea what that was watching me. But I know for sure something was watching me. Everything got so quiet, so cold. And I know we're in the middle of the winter, okay? But I'm in motherfucking Mississippi. It doesn't get 20 fucking degrees down here, okay? In the exact moment that I got chills and I caught that thing sitting down on that branch, it got cold as a motherfucker. So you can't tell me I'm motherfucking crazy. I know what I saw. I know what I fucking caught on camera. So if you want to call me crazy, maybe you should rethink your reality. Nobody stole any video. I caught what I caught on camera when apparently he caught what he caught on camera 4 years ago.
What's going on?
Excuse me? Hi, did someone win the lottery?
We've done it. The first hybrid was just born. Everything has just changed.
I just want to know if it's true. Don't I deserve to know?
At 1200 hours, the first successful hybrid was born.
Dino, what do you think about that plane that just went down in Russia?
The Azerbaijani Embraer?
Yes.
Now that's crazy. Like, what if that's what they doing in some of these bio labs out there, creating like super hybrids, all types of wild things that we could only imagine.
Why did it go down?
Yesterday, I read a news thing about it on my aviation feed. It was bird strike, but it's not. I mean, I don't want to speculate.
We were just talking about it being bird strike.
It's not a bird strike. It doesn't look like it. It was shot down. Yeah. Shot
By the
down.
Russians, you think?
Yeah, well, okay. So it was going to Grozny. Grozny is a city just north of Georgia, this country of Georgia in southern Russia. We're at the south, right? So it went there, and apparently it couldn't land there for bad weather, whatever. And then it was diverted across the Caspian Sea to an airport in Kazakhstan, which is kind of weird, right? Like, why don't you land around there if you can't have bad weather? Why do you divert the guy over there? And then he called in, probably, we don't know, we don't have an FDR or ATC recordings because it's Russian airspace, whatever. But apparently he called in loss of flight controls and someone saw the plane go down. But why I think it's, okay, the European news agencies already say, you know, Azerbaijani, like, government, you know, officials already are saying they were shot down. But if you look at the pictures online, anywhere, on New York Times, Washington, anywhere, look at the vertical stabilizer of that airplane. It's what normal people call the tail. It's a vertical stabilizer, the thing in the back of the plane.
Okay, the elevator.
No, the elevators are the horizontal stabilizers. Vertical stabilizer, where your rudder is.
Got it.
It's peppered with it looks like shotgun shells. So it's a SAM that hit it, more than likely.
So who was on this plane?
Also, it's Russians, Azerbaijani citizens.
Why do you think they would want to shoot it down?
Well, what I was reading is they were having, Grozny was very close to Ukraine. And there's all these drone attacks that was going on. And then so it probably had some.
Just confused.
It's like MH17, right?
Thought it was
You find out
military.
it was shot down when you see the shrapnel on the outside of the airplane. Just when you can see it on the vertical stabilizer, you can see these little pock marks. Birds don't cause pock
So you
marks.
think either Russia or Ukrainians thought it was enemy?
The
aircraft?
Russian, it was in Russian airspace.
Okay, so the
So
Russians
apparently
thought
they
it was
shot it. I
Ukrainians.
mean, again, I'm just going off what I read. It's like it was chaos. There's drones coming, so they shot it, and it didn't crash. The pilots were reporting loss of flight control systems.
Yeah.
Something, right? So they were still flying the
Right.
airplane. And apparently they went to the other side, and then there's GPS jamming over there. There's all sorts of GPS jamming in that area because of all the drone activity from, in the war with Ukraine, right? And probably the guy just couldn't keep it in the air anymore and crash. But half the people survived, so I don't think he did one of these. He may have tried to put it down because half the people survived. But I don't want to speculate. This is just what my opinion is, but just from what I read, and that picture to me doesn't look like a bird strikes don't cause those kinds of holes. So missiles, when you shoot a missile, SAM, surface to air missiles, when they shoot at airplanes, they're not meant to directly hit the airplane.
They go for something that.
No, they just go next to it and they blow up, and there's all this shrapnel. Like if you look at KAL 007, the famous one, the Russian shot down the Korean airliner, shrapnel. When they discovered the airplane, they could find the pockmarks.
Wow.
MH17 shrapnel. So it's not like, the missile doesn't hit the airplane. It gets a proximity fuse near the airplane. It blows, and then all the shrapnel hits it, and then that's what I think happened. So.
All right.
The United States government knew about the ET presence no later than July of 1947 in Roswell. Made the decision at that time to keep that from the American people. Fine.
And I would say before, my condolences to those that, was in that situation, and are not with us anymore. And I don't even know what to say on it. It's so crazy. I haven't even looked into it. Got to do the research before I really speak too much. But if what dude's saying may be true, somebody got to pay. And I mean, we don't want lie for lie. Well, I can't speak for the families, but you got to pay.
Almost exactly 5 years later to the week, there was a significant flyover of Washington, D.C. The U.S. government had a problem. General John Sanford made the response for the government, which was equivocative, but not unreasonable. But also there came a response from Donald Keogh, who flat out said, these are extraterrestrials. It's not human. Again, the government made the decision to keep this from the American people. 10 years later, 1962, we had the Cuban Missile Crisis, where we almost had a nuclear war. Only 4 years after that, these craft started appearing over our nuclear facilities and shutting our nuclear weapons down. How many times this happened in the 60s, we don't know. Because the Air Force probably at some point was able to keep a much tighter rein on the outcome. But witnesses for a number of these shutdowns came forward. They have been trying to testify before Congress for 30 years, which is when they initially made the decision to start coming forward, led by Captain Robert Salas. The government has not allowed them to testify, and in fact, it has virtually ghosted them. It was about the only thing they could do. All right. And so that was in the 60s. Again, the government kept this from the American people. Decades went on. And then we start to approach what I think is the end game, the end of the truth embargo. And we start moving into that 7-year period, starting in 2017. But it's not been easy. It's been slow. There's been pushback. There's been some wins and losses, but we are moving toward disclosure without question. However, we are also moving toward nuclear war. Just that one thing alone is enough to be justification for more action from them. And so as we stall on the disclosure process, we suddenly have what the history will call the era of the drone swarms, the drone swarm flap. Let me take you back to May 17th of 2022. At that time, we had a hearing in front of the subcommittee of the Intelligence Committee in the Senate. Scott Bray and Ronald Moultrie. It was the first hearing, by the way, since the last one in 1968. So we're talking 54 years. So that's progress. And they came in, they were working for the UAP task force, and they testified. It wasn't, grandiose. It was kind of basic. A lot of people were not satisfied. But at that hearing, you may recall, a video was presented, a video that had emerged not too long before the hearing was held. And it involved a drone swarm around one of our ships at night, not over New Jersey, not over the UK, not over some part of the United States, but over one of our ships at night. And they did not shoot them down. In fact, they didn't do anything. And the only reason we got that film is because, well, a lot of sailors have cameras. They're allowed to take cameras with them. And somebody filmed it, and it got in our hands. And Scott Bray, tried to explain it, but it was really painful. So the drone swarm era goes all the way back to 2022. And it has been escalating ever since. And so here is my conclusion. The extraterrestrials have lost their patience. And the risk to us as a civilization has only increased. And so they've decided we're going to end this nonsense. And so they are doing incursions, using their devices, whatever they are, not just in one place, not in two places, not on one continent, multiple continents. And the US government knows it. And what do? Here's what they do, right? You can't shoot them down. They know they're extraterrestrial, I can assure you, right? Trying to shoot down extraterrestrial craft of any kind or orbs of any kind, you end up killing human beings, and it's hopeless. You don't want to send up piloted craft because they could crash. So you send up your own drones to somehow monitor them as best you can. And so what you're seeing is a mix of military drones and non-human craft entities of whatever type they want, engaging in some, I guess, process, probably mostly surveillance by us of them. And that is all the government can do. And so what the ETs and their genius have done is put the United States government, the UK government, in an impossible position finally. In other words, we can't tell you what they really are, though we know, but we can't stop them from doing this. And they continue to do it, and they will continue to do it. And the pressure on the government, the embarrassment for the government will become excruciating. And those people within the United States government that somehow have decided that we will never know this truth as long as they walk this face of the earth will finally just capitulate. To the growing number of people within our government think it's time we know the truth about this. And so this is an ET-driven intervention to get us into the post-disclosure world before we blow ourselves to hell. The current engagement of it is to send up our own drones to try to, I don't know, follow them, do what we can. The whole thing is a giant fiasco, and it only leads one way, right? There's so many of these things that can go on, and so many members of the Senate or the House or the DOD that have to come out with ridiculously idiotic answers and make complete fools of themselves before they realize if we would end this truth embargo, we could stop making fools of ourselves and our government and move on with civilization. That's the narrative that I'm using for this. I'm very comfortable with it, but I certainly invite those that disagree. Thank you.
I got absolutely.
That would be wild. Like, I haven't really heard that one before, I don't think. Like, that would be crazy that that'd be crazy of what he's saying. Like, and why aren't these orbs really there? Like, y'all doing too much. It's time. And then if you do intervene and you shut everything down, and how would that change the world? Let me know your thoughts on that. We gotta stay open-minded, work on our emotions, because we don't know what type of beings these are. Last thing we want to do is offend somebody that could take your soul.
No fucking sleep last night. Honestly, at this point, I really don't know what it is. I don't know why it's fucking with my house. I don't know if it's interested in the Christmas lights or some shit. But all fucking night, from like 1 to 4 a.m., this motherfucking thing or things, whatever the fuck they are, just kept walking on my roof loud as fuck, tapping on the windows. I have a German Shepherd, okay? And she's really fucking loud when she barks, okay? I was getting pissed the fuck off, man. I have a door that's in the back of my house. It's where my kid's room is. And it kept tapping on the fucking back door. My kids are fucking freaking out, panicking and shit. And every single time that I go outside with this bright ass fucking flashlight that I got now, I could never catch anything on camera, dude. And once again, I am in Mississippi for the holidays. I have 2 properties down here in Mississippi. And these are not motherfucking monkeys, okay? They're not motherfucking 7-foot camouflage owls either. There was one.
Well, technically, it was some monkeys that escaped somewhere. So, I mean, we ought to be open minded. We ought to be open minded, y'all.
Point where I thought I heard something on the roof last night. It was probably around 10:30, 11 p.m. And it just felt like something was watching me, man. And you know, you get that eerie feeling over you, and you get these goosebumps running up your spine and shit, and you don't really know how to react, and your eyes are just looking, and they start playing tricks on you. And I know what I caught in the video, and at that moment, which was the other night, I was not tripping, okay? I don't care what anybody wants to fucking say. You can clearly see flickering lights on the left side of the tree go up and then jump over branches. And then you could clearly see a camouflage figure just crouch down on the branches. I mean, I have thousands of people that could see it for themselves, so I don't understand why other people aren't seeing it. I even took a fucking zoomed in screenshot of what the fuck you need to be looking at, and still somehow people are not seeing it. Which is fine. At this point, I don't really fucking care to explain myself anymore. Maybe some people just aren't meant to see that type of shit. All I know is I can't be at this house anymore. It's making me lose my fucking mind, man. I mean, I'm honestly going crazy at this point. And I'm just filling my content up with these videos. And honestly, this is not the type of content that I intend to make. So I'm honestly probably just going to end up taking my kids to my other property and just trying to forget about the situation for the time being. I mean, if this thing or whatever they are were trying to harm me, I would imagine that they would by now. But I still don't understand why they're trying to fuck with me.
Well, you know, guys, it could be numerous reasons why that is going on. You know, maybe, okay, let's say the government do have biolabs and they make these creatures. They might send them after people. Who knows? I was looking at his videos a while ago, and he had a video to where he talked about he was going to go on Joe Rogan. And I guess him and Joe Rogan got into a dispute over something, and he left. Didn't even do the interview. So you never know. Joe might have sent some things at you, or Joe told some people and they felt some type of way and said some things at you just to mess with you. Or you never know if it's like magic or something. You could be dealing with some forces beyond your control, brother. So we got to be very mindful in what we say and do. So who knows? What am I supposed to be looking for, y'all? I'm looking to the left. Okay, I think it's something right here. Is that it? It looked like it stepped out. What we looking at? It's a lot of movement. Is that the screen? Is that something running? It's too blurry for me to make out. That could be a man. Don't even know. That could be a man. I don't even know what I saw. There's water all over the camera and stuff. I don't know what I saw. I can't even make it a suggestion. It could have been a fox with chichiasitis or something. I don't know. I don't know, bruh. I just be wondering sometimes, like, if these creatures so massive, so big, why don't they get busy with nobody that we know of? Like, I don't know, or like maybe they not like that. Territorial? What y'all think?
Hi guys, so some updates here. So Steve Bassett, who's the founder of the Paradigm Research Group and also is a UFO lobbyist on Capitol Hill, has said some rather compelling things on a recent podcast. Effectively what he's saying is that these drone incursions are going to increase. and this is based on his own internal knowledge with the people and sources that he's been speaking with. But also, it's from I can't believe I'm saying this. As he states, from an extraterrestrial perspective, they're getting sick and tired of waiting, which is why this is going to increase until we have an end to the truth embargo on this situation with UAP. Effectively, what's going to happen is that this is going to increase to the point where it.
So are they here and they like, okay, well, we've been here and we're tired of this? Or is somebody like dry snitching or snitching? Like, hey, bruh, they not doing what they said they were supposed to do. They keep trying to control everything. They not trying to. I think the whole goal was to slowly get society to a point to where they've been working on technology and it's free to the masses to handle appropriately. I argue you should have did this back in the 60s. And tell me if y'all agree or disagree. I think, well, they might not even been as open to things as we are. Probably not.
No longer be denied by governments, and they will be embarrassed into divulging the truth and addressing the general public as to what is going on here and what these things actually are. Despite the restrictions on drones over some parts of New York and the state of New Jersey, these things are still being seen by YouTubers, by vloggers every single night. So the frequency is not decreasing, and just because the news has stopped reporting on this, that's not what's happening. There are still loads of these things all over the place, and these restrictions are not doing anything. So I found that very interesting. Second, which I think is really important here, is that James Lukatsky, who is an ex-intelligence officer that worked within these UAP programs, said that a lot of the information that's being pushed out is false. And he knows this to be true because he was a first-hand witness on some of the stuff that's been worked on. He said there are some public figures, he didn't give any names, that are addressing things at the moment, documents that have been forged, that are not real, that have been pushed into the public sphere. And he said that every legacy program has a counterintelligence officer that works on behalf of that program to throw people off the scent, which is really, really interesting, which means that some of the stuff we could be reading, Immaculate Constellation, stuff that's going on within Arrow, and the UAP task force, etc. Some of the information that's being pushed out is in fact not real. It's false information. So now we have to tread even more carefully as to what is being seen. So this whole thing has just got completely muddled up now. I know this is a bit of a confusing one, guys, but there's a lot going on. But yeah, those are the two biggest takeaways over the past few days. And I think this is something, especially the stuff that Steve Bassett is talking about, that this stuff is going to increase in frequency to the point where the governments will be embarrassed into telling the truth as to what this is, which is why we still haven't had a public statement. There was a Pentagon briefing, actually, in the White House by the representative whose name always eludes me. And he was basically saying that they're getting very angry and annoyed with what's going on, and they don't quite understand what these operators are and what they're doing and how they're able to evade so efficiently when intercepted by US military equipment. So there's a lot going on here, guys, and I think this is a really important time for us to pay attention and to stay frosty as to what's coming, because I think that next year is going to be bringing a lot of truths that some people might not be prepared to hear. So, that's it for now, guys. You heard it first from DK. Last but not least, don't forget to check the link in my bio for my porridge. We've got 3 fantastic flavours, apple and cinnamon, vanilla, and our bestseller, of course, maple syrup. All right, guys, that's it for now. Thank you.
Y'all see that the cartel is not playing with YouTube. Miguel?
I really do hope that we know whatever it is. It is what it is. It's time. Full disclosure.
L. Jasper, famous YouTuber, was found with 70 holes in his body. Let me repeat that again. They hit him 70 times. The type of information that Miguel was putting out into the world, I'm guessing that the cartel did not like. But this is evidence that you have to pay attention to what you say online, because everybody is not playing. Also, you got to understand that people who you don't think are listening are listening. And there are a couple of YouTubers with similar platforms. Miguel was basically trying to get the message out about certain crime families and certain things of that nature. But when you're doing crime, of course you don't want people to talk about you. And when you rub the wrong feathers, you already know what'll happen. As more information come out, the more you'll hear from me. I definitely want to know exactly what happened and what made them do what they did to Miguel. It's crazy.
Now, I would argue it's part of an...
Sometimes when you in a losing situation, see, and I think in today's society, a lot of us is so comfortable and we never been tested, battle tested in any manner. We just keep doing what we doing. We really don't see no consequences. It hasn't been no consequences. So who's gonna do something to me? Bro, I believe I'm one of the baddest men on the planet. I really do. I really don't see too many. Like in my mind, it's like what? Let's just say it's 8 billion. I don't even think it's touching like, I don't think it's touching double digits, like in the thousands, to where people probably barely. I just don't. I think you got to be a different dude. Like I'm already bigger than the average man on the planet. It's just, and then once I seen the U.S. man, let's just stay in the U.S. Average man can't. I'm on like, bro, we ain't got weapons. I even see some big dudes that's weak. Like I be feeling bad for people sometimes. And I, like I said, I be believing I'm the baddest dude on the planet, and I know who not to bark up certain trees because I can't beat everybody. It's just unrealistic. It's just, and you, I think other people have to have that mindset too. Like, hey, slow my horses. I'm doing too much.
Ancient metaphysical system that was passed on after the flood. But, you know, we'll get into that. You can make up your own mind. What is very apparent, it is quite ubiquitous and quite specific. And you find it in really specific places, like over the temple gates. You find this kind of strange megalithic building with these knobs all around the world. Androgynous Viracocha is engaged in this posture. Peru.
Now, I heard the theory. I don't know how true. I could see this happening. It might have not been interdimensional beings that built these structures. It might have been, excuse me, by the way, apologies. It might have been, have y'all heard like the we was on Mars theory? It might have been because we left Mars. They say some of our people from Mars, like the Martians, let's just say the Martians, they was going through a situation, looking for a place to go. I guess the people who went out into space, they didn't come back, or they went to Earth. So then they all went to Earth, and it could be the Martians was considered the Nephilim, the different things, taught Earthlings a lot of things. And that's why we see some of these creatures we see, they was really Martians. I don't know how true that is, but I could see that theory being true because they say on Mars, they was a lot bigger than us. And on Mars, there's pyramids too. So it might be a little truth in everything. We got to just look for it. We got to look for it. For my fellow X-Files, X-File, I don't know, what would we be called? The the truth seekers, that's out there, but we got to come up with a name. I'm gonna come up with something for us though. I'm gonna come up with something.
In Egypt, many similarities: 2 snakes, 1 snake, God self icon above the doorways. Esoteric traditions, the Freemasons and Rosicrucians kind of esoterically transmitted this knowledge in secret throughout the Dark Ages, so they wouldn't be burned to death, basically. And it shows the same iconography that I'm talking about.
Burned to death is wild.
This balance of the opposites. In fact, recently in India, they found this God self icon, the oldest one in the world. The discovery of rock carvings believed to be tens of thousands of years old greatly excited archaeologists who believe they hold clues to a previously unknown civilization. Now, they didn't pick up on the fact that it's a God self icon. Richard did. But just another interesting corroborative piece of evidence.
You guys, oh my God, watch this.
Or do we need to focus on the S&P 500? Is that what actually matters? Huh? The S&P 500? When most people may not even be alive here in a few days just because we're on the verge of nuclear war? Hey, listen to me, Mr. Krugman. Your degree is worthless. You might as well use it as paperweight because it means nothing. I hope you enjoy the dead children that the economy is powering. Our Our economy is definitely very powerful right now. All that stock market money goes to the military complex so that more innocent women and children are dead. And fuck off with the New York Times, the liberal apologists for war and genocide. You all fucking suck. People need to wake up right now, and we need to have peace. We can work with China. We can work with Russia. We don't need to start war with Iran. All right.
But you know what's the hardest thing about that is, especially in America, we force democracy on every country. And from the research I saw, and tell me if I'm wrong, every country we force democracy on is they look like they like lesser versions of themselves. The shell is different. So, and I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. But from a lot of things I saw, that democracy works in America. You know, so I just think that's the thing that I think we should have did back in the day when we first invented that career ender for people. No disrespect to those that was affected by it. We should have united the world then. Everybody should have been on the one. I would have said, join us, become one, or get obliterated. That's just what I would have done. I would have tried to, that would have been peace for the most part. But you would have had to go and make sure you take out certain people that still wanted to be like, oh, we China, we Russia, whatever it may have been, we Germany. You had to take that, we're the United World or something, whatever it might be. New America or something. I don't know, but I could tell you one thing. I believe that was like a bad mistake. We should have used that power we had and forced the world to be with us, and we would all been Americans. It would have worked better that way, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we would have been to an extreme situation quicker. I don't know. But it's just food for thought.
To the top of the elevation has the most aether, meaning we have the most normal realities and less magic, less effects, and that sort of thing. Further down you go beyond the ice wall to Atlas and Akupara, the less aether there is, which means there's more magic, there's more strange effects, there's more weird plants and animals and cultures, and it just gets weirder and stranger the further down you go. With less aether means the laws of nature and the fabrics of reality don't mean as much. And that's why the two main planets beyond Earth have all the strange stuff I'm going to mention in this video. Aether directly affects things like gravity and light and reality stabilization, which is why strange things do happen in Earth, weird, odd things that can't be explained, but not enough to where it would cause alarm. But these strange things that happen here happen more often as we go down. But just know that the most important part of the aether in this lore is how it affects magic and energies and vibrations. Things like psychic communications and palm readings and future telling and soothsaying and all that kind of stuff, that happens more and it's more realistic where there's no aether or where there's less aether. Things like projections and ghosts and haints and everything like that, beings of the ethereal realm, they can exist outside of the aether, which is why here on Earth you have sightings of like Bigfoot and ghosts and that kind of thing and magic that happens but can't be explained because there's so much aether here that keeps everything in line. Okay, so just to make sure you're still with me here and you haven't clicked out the video and you're not going insane, let's recap a few things. In the world behind the ice wall lore, Earth, Atlas, and Akupara are on top of each other like a galactic snowman. They're connected by their...
I mean, ain't that like, what's North mythology? What is it? But when Earth be more Middlegard, like I forgot what it's called, but basically, you know, the different dimensions. It's similar, very similar, but I don't know.
Southern poles, and beyond those walls of ice, or walls or borders or whatever, is how you get to the different planets. Everything is surrounded by this aether.
Give me 30 seconds, I'm going to blow your mind. This is Paul Hellyer, the former Minister of National Defense of Canada. He was born in 1923. He served under Lester B. Pearson. Most of you guys may know him. Yes, the same Prime Minister for Pearson Airport. And he also served under Pierre Trudeau. He was the longest serving member of the Privy Council. Now this is where it gets interesting. He was a senior cabinet minister during the two Canada's best known UFO sightings. They both took place in 1967. He opened up a UFO landing pad. But watch this video and hear what he said.
And he believes that life forms from space exist and are present on Earth. It's great to have you with us on our show. Why do you say that UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying over our heads?
Well, because I know that they are. They've been, as a matter of fact, They've been visiting our planet for thousands of years. And one of the cases that would interest you most, if you give me 2 or 3 minutes to answer, is during the Cold War, 1961, there were about 50 UFOs in formation flying south from Russia to across Europe. And the Supreme Allied Commander was very concerned and about ready to press the panic button when they turned around and went back over the North Pole. So they decided to do an investigation, and they investigated for 3 years, and they decided that with absolute certainty that 4 different species at least, had been visiting this planet for thousands of years. So that's, we have a long history of UFOs, and of course, there's been a lot more activity in the last few decades since the atomic bomb.
Now, I'm not going to show you the whole thing. The whole thing's...
The question is that I have, do we even have rights to this planet? You know what I mean? Why they like, look, we was trying to help y'all out, but y'all not the ones that are not the chosen ones. And they just do what they do.
Wow. 20 minutes, but this is a high-ranking official, the former Minister of Defense of Canada, someone who's extremely well respected. And here's the important part. The government has never confirmed, nor have they denied his claims. And that should help explain what's going on in New Jersey.
That camera x-ray, did he have altered that by any means? Or do y'all think it's like, could that be an app that I don't know about? Or like he is seeing through stuff? What y'all think? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If I saw this coming, I would probably been flying away too, because I'd have been like, bro, is that like a missile? But I would have probably hit the brakes. I ain't even gonna lie. I would have hit the brakes on it, like, because I would have wanted to know what was going on. But it reminded me of
a few weeks ago.
It is I think it's called First Encounters. Well, yeah, First Encounter or something. First Contact. It reminded me of First Contact. Watch that, y'all. It's like just watch it. First Contact, extraterrestrials. Very interesting. I wonder if it's very similar to this that we're experiencing.
I had one of the strangest experiences of my life. Out on an evening, filming Dior bags. There was a lot of them low in the sky, but one in particular. I got out of the vehicle because it was very close, and I filmed this. And this is the video where there was a light anomaly. And my voice modulates while I'm looking at it, and it starts as an Oscar bag, it turns into a Dior bag. The designers are getting very trippy with it. Shortly after that, a user named Nat Honey private messaged me this image, and he was tripping out because him and his daughter were outside, and they saw what looked like maybe a bit of an Oscar bag vibe that was flying near, and then boom, light. And he was tripped out as well. Then another week later, I got this video by Michaela, and she's in a house, like doing the dishes or whatever, and this light anomaly appears, and everyone was very confused. But a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this looks similar to the Zik Show video." And I
was so quick to be like, "No," but what if it is some energy? Like, it's these beings, like, bro. See, I'm so curious, like, what's going on. Never seen nothing like that before in my life. My bad. I'm not trying to flex, just stretching. I'm real tight. Bro, we need answers. And I wish I could like go, but yet again, what is real and what's not? At this point, we got to hear from the aliens. We can no longer trust our government. And anybody who tell me they trust their government, I just think you a sheep. I'm sorry. If you say you trust the government, you a sheep. Like, I was talking to one of my buddies about trying to tell him about these Gucci bag and Prada bags and stuff, right? And he was like, that's what we got the US government for. Ragging? What? Oh, and then if that don't work, I got a Glock. What is that gonna do, brother? Like, we gotta, like, bro, they ready, so you ain't gotta get ready. I'd rather be proactive if I can instead of reactive. Just saying.
That potentially something was flying overhead the house. Because then just last night,
Bro, that look like Doctor Who, the energy. That look like straight energy. Like from Doctor Who, you know what? Every time he regenerate. Oh my God. Tell me if I'm tripping, y'all. Tell me if I'm tripping. Wow. 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 I think I just put like that might what is going on? But wow.
La Patrona 455, she was out on a patio with her kid.
And this is what I'm getting. After
There's no light pole here either.
Yeah, there is not.
Is that residue? Is these about to be dimensions from like a manga popping up and systems gonna start showing up, or people get powers and different things like gates just open everywhere? Why, I don't know. That'd be crazy work.
So what is going on here?
It's prime in Earth.
Look at the edges. And then also she caught another video with these Oscar bags flying, or Dior bags, and they have the anomaly kind of coming out of them. So it would appear that whatever these things flying in the sky are.
And see, I saw this video, right? I got a whole bunch of footage on my phone, but I'm scared to post it. I don't want no smoke. I already had some warnings. If y'all want to know about that, I get into that. But I already had some warnings. Excuse me. But I seen this video and a lot of people was like, this AI is fake. Like, people be so quick to dismiss it. And I wonder if it's a fear or they just been so manipulated that they just think everything is fake.
They have some effect when nearby on lights. That, or it's I don't know. I'm gonna throw a trippy one out there. It's possible that these things are shooting some sort of radiation, some sort of technology at us that makes it change what we see.
I've heard rumors that they can affect our reality. They affect what we see, our consciousness. And then they say most of these UAPs, these drones are like, they give off reality warping properties. So I don't know. Like I say, I can't say for definitive. I'll be honest with y'all. I'll tell y'all a little story. I know somebody in the military that got a lot of like clearances, and they told me some things like with no technology, nothing, just me and him in this like this space. It's some wild things that occurs in this universe. I'll tell you that one.
That's what I felt when I had my experience, was that something of non-human origin was flying over me, but it went, oh, make them see airplane. If you or anybody you know start seeing these kind of anomalies and lights, please send them to me, and let's take it to a scientist, man. It's a shame that that Stephen Hawking ended up, well, he's dead, but he went to that place. I'm tempted to do an impression of him. I won't do it. I want to express my appreciation for 9,000 followers. It's very, very cool. I appreciate all of you for watching. The search continues.
Now, Mexican psychic predicts war between humans and extraterrestrials in 2025, decades after a chilling prophecy. In 1988, the Mexican psychic known as Baba Vanga shared a prophecy that was dismissed at the time, but is now shocking the world. According to her, 2025 would mark the year humanity faces an enemy from beyond the stars. Her words, cryptic and filled with suspense, increasingly align with recent reports of UFO sightings in the United States and other parts of the world. In Baba Vanga's vision, the skies would become the stage for events humanity never thought possible. She warned, strange visitors will arrive, bringing a message many will not understand until it's too late. The rise in unidentified aerial phenomena sightings in recent years.
We have been receiving a message we do not understand. Oh, and the governments are finessing, gaslighting, lying, whatever you want to say, national security, my butt. Like when people be like, well, they can't tell it, man, tell who? Tell you, who is you to say they can't tell somebody, brother? It's some people who agree with me and there's some people who disagree with me and sister, but that would be crazy if that's what's really going on. It's a sign of what is to come. It would be diabolical. It would be very, very concerning. And all we can do is have discernment, faith, love, happiness. But if it showed that we cannot create peace with that, we're going to have to do the opposite.
Is now seen as a prelude to something far larger and potentially catastrophic. What has puzzled experts the most is the psychic's grim warning about humanity's response. Curiosity will lead us down a dangerous path. Contact will be made and conflict will become inevitable. Our weapons will seem insignificant compared to their technology. This statement is now interpreted as a possible reference to global military efforts to study and contain extraterrestrial phenomena. Are the recent UFO sightings the beginning of what Baba Vanga foresaw over 3 decades ago? Are we truly on the brink of a war with forces beyond Earth? The mystery deepens as the clock ticks toward 2025.
The Simpsons predicted that 2025 would be the most chaotic year in U.S. history. In a little-known episode, Springfield faces a nationwide blackout that plunges the city into complete darkness. The streets are deserted, markets are looted. Meanwhile, rumors of technological interference begin to surface. The most intriguing scene shows a federal building with lights flickering mysteriously, as if being remotely controlled. But then, something happens. A massive electronic billboard in the main square begins broadcasting a message. Everything is connected. Prepare for the unknown revolution. At the same time, drones start flying over the city, dropping flyers warning about an impending catastrophic event. Panic spreads among the population, and a mysterious figure appears, delivering a crucial warning. In the episode's final moments, a message from one of the drones grabs everyone's attention. You have few hours left, but what does it mean? The episode ends with Homer staring at the sky as lightning reveals a massive device approaching on the horizon. What were the Simpsons trying to warn us about? Comment 2025 for part 2 and share with a friend. See you tomorrow.
This, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Bless this child. Bless this child. Bro, I saw this. I was like, that's straight diabolical. That's straight diabolical.
Obsessed.
And I saw this, and let's go back real quick. Apologies.
Share with a friend. See you tomorrow.
This, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I'm obsessed.
See, she said Putin told Russians a couple of days ago to leave America immediately. What the F is our government trying to do to us, right? No, he never said that. I had to do some research. This is what he said. Avoid traveling to the West in response to Donald Trump's call for Ukrainian ceasefire. That's what happened. He never said, from what I looked up, I couldn't find that. Now, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. But this is what I found. saw this, I was like, what? What? It just looked crazy. Just looked crazy.
It's happening again. It's literally happening right now. Watch, I'm about to point the camera on this tree. There's literally a camouflage person in my tree breaking these branches in this fucking tree. This is the tree that I'm talking about. Just listen. It was literally right here. It was sitting in the tree. You can literally fucking hear it. It's like right there. Dude, I know I'm not fucking tripping. Like, I know you can hear this on camera right now. There's no fucking way.
No, I don't hear nothing, brother. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all hear something?
There is something fucking with me. It's literally watching me. It's following me. I have no idea what the fuck it is, dude. It just keeps dropping branches on my fucking house. And then you can hear this. Dude, like, what the fuck, bro?
See, I would have went back there. Just me personally, if I had the flashlight from my neighbor, like he said, I'd have went back there. What's going on?
It's coming from like right there.
I gotta know what it is, because for me, I got kids, right? If I got the kids, I don't want them to get hurt. I'm gonna have to be the first line of defense. So, man.
No, I'm out. I'm fucking dude, I'm out. It was literally like a camouflage person was sit. Look, you can fucking see it. Right directly in front of my finger. It's like somebody is crouched down right there on the fucking branch. And they just keep moving up and down. What the fuck is that? Yo, I'm literally tripping the fuck out. What the fuck? There's literally something fucking with me right now. There's something watching me in this fucking tree. I had to have caught something on video. Dude, I have fucking chills. Yo, this shit is tripping me the fuck out. What the?
Now, you know what could be going on, y'all? And I've been trying to be very careful with this. We be digesting so much of this information. You don't, man, look, you might be overreacting, bruh. That's why I always try to just be open-minded. And if somebody showed me something, even if it's fake and it look, unless my gut is telling me like, nah, champ, I'm gonna be like, well, I was wrong.
I can't, dude.
You know that creepy man down the street named Benjamin? What if I told you he can watch you and see you? He's probably watching you right now and you don't even know. This website gives live footage of cameras all around the world. You can go search any city, state, country, it doesn't matter. This is live footage from cameras that are in homes, baby rooms, cars, kids' room, and a lot of people don't even know they're being watched right now. And of course your creepy neighbor is not gonna tell you. This is some scary shit.
Some of the very first videos of China's Wuzhen 9 or WZ-9 Divine Eagle unmanned aircraft have surfaced recently on social media. And this particular aircraft is an airborne early warning platform. And what that means is it's there to detect stealth aircraft. That's what the purpose of this.
Why is it built like that? Why is it built like that? Like they could have. Like they're just like usually everything like triangular, like aerodynamic. That don't even look like that. Like let's go back a little bit. Like what is that? Well, I guess you could say right here it is the top. I mean the boom boom, but boom that where to put the other jet right here. Boom, 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 that boy going.
Media. And this particular aircraft is an airborne early warning platform. And what that means is it's there to detect stealth aircraft. That's what the purpose of this specific drone is. It's literally built to detect stealth aircraft. According to multiple sources, it's got like radar antenna arrays that are integrated along the fuselage of this thing, and those work in conjunction with ultra-wide dual-band electronically scanned radar. Now, the WZ-9 is intended to operate in groups, so that way you've got multi-layers of the radar acting in the airspace that they are operating in. Now, I think they're still in the testing phases of this thing, but if they do deploy it and they send it out there, it's going to be one of the first anti-stealth radar systems that are out there. Apparently, this thing has a length of 14 meters, a height of 6 meters, and a wingspan of roughly 35 meters, so it's pretty big. Like, it's a very big drone. And some people believe that it can fly up to at least 20 hours. Now, it's likely that this drone was designed so that it could sync up with other UAVs that China has in its arsenal, so that way they can operate together as like a mesh network in the sky.
Interstellar tunnel found that connects our solar system to other stars. What stands out is the detection of a channel or tunnel that appears to stretch towards the Centaurus constellation. Have you watched Three Body Problem? Does Centaurus sound familiar to you? In the Netflix show Three Body Problem, there are these plasmoid-like entities called sophons. They are superpositioned and they can quantum jump wherever they want. And they are linked to a civilization in Alpha Centauri, aka Centaurus. Yes. Mind you, this is like a real scientific article, so far, that I know of. This sophon is from a sci-fi fake Hollywood TV show. So these sophons' agenda is to keep watch of human beings to see if we're going to surpass a certain type of technological advancement, because if we do, we are a threat to them. The Alpha Centauri race sent these sophons to Earth to make sure we stay stupid, because their ultimate agenda is to colonize this place. It's to take over, have dominion of our home planet. I'm going to show you a screenshot of a clip. The sophons tell these humans, in place of truth, we give you miracles. We wrap your world in illusions. We make you see what we want you to see. We are everywhere, anywhere, and we will teach you how to fear again. And what's the craziest thing is, this is not from Three Body Problem. This is what appears to be a real plasmoid filmed on somebody's phone or camera that was posted on TikTok. This was also a supposed plasmoid. Since we're talking about plasmoids, since we're talking about the existence of them, and how plasmoids are sentient, these little buggers right here, they are also sentient. In the show, they show you how this little thing, this tiny little sophon, actually encapsulates this huge, ginormous amount of consciousness. This consciousness collapses into a toroidal field that ultimately becomes this tiny little thing. And this tiny little thing looks almost identical to the plasmoids we have been seeing that have been filmed. The drones flying over certain areas where there are spikes in radiation, and these radiations can be caused by plasmoids because plasmoids give off radioactive properties. Could it be linked to that Alpha Centauri constellation? Because, like, what are...
I've been having crazy headaches, and it's either two reasons, y'all. Is it either because I keep hearing this, you hear my boy see this over and over and over again, right? But I don't think so. I'm hoping not. If it's something going on in the sky that's affecting me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
The chances? You know, what are the freaking chances? Unless they're making fun of us, which I don't doubt, honestly. This is just so plain in your face. Now, you guys know my stance on the plasmoids. I don't immediately think that they are good. I don't think they're angels. I think if something is sentient, you have to ask the question, what is its sentience? What is its consciousness? Because I'm sentient. I'm a human being. You know who else was sentient? A lot of very evil people in our human history. Animals are also sentient. Lizards are also sentient. What kind of sentience is it? And what is its agenda?
I saw this and I was like, what? What? Maybe it's just
This
pareidolia.
right here is not rain and it's not sleet, and I'm about to prove it to you.
What's up, whoever that may be? Hopefully, it's all is well. You know, we doing what we doing. Thank you for joining us, though.
In a second. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of this. So this is their Ring doorbell or whatever, and at the same time, there is quite literally no precipitation coming from the sky. It's just water molecules. Somewhat. Same exact place, except it was taken on a camera and not the Ring doorbell. I'm about to show you stills as well. But guess what? This is happening everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Here's the still picture. And all the way across the world, this is in South Carolina, and it's looked like this for months outside. And when I say months, I mean every single day. It's this right here. So much to the point where I'm literally taking vitamin D every day. Now, I have no idea what this is, but do you notice the similarities? The fog. Why is it completely outrageous? And
Now, is that like some light shooting up from the bottom? Like, I really don't know. Like, some things be very misleading, and it'd be so much of like misinformation and videos that don't correlate, but correlate with what you're saying. And it's just, oh man.
again, right here, with crazy spiritual phenomenon happening in the sky, why is it always present with fog? Right there's the video. We have seen the sun here once a week, if that. And I've been talking about that quite a bit. I mean, look at right here. Yeah, once in a while, I get that. But every single day for months straight in the UK, they're grounding flights and doing all sorts of caution over this fog. So it's not just, you know, where we are, but where they are as well. By the way, in the video I showed you, I see a skull in the fog. Surely me and them can't be the only people, right? Let me know what it looks like outside where y'all are. If you're watching this on Facebook, put a picture in the comments. I miss the sun, and I mean the OG sun.
It's been old, and cold. But it's really been like, for me, it's been very like, the weather's been consistent with the area, but inconsistent at the same time. It was at a point I'm like, okay, this was supposed to be going on, and now the sun is out. Like, so it's just like, wow, it's some crazy work.
Hey, do you remember the prediction that guy made that, 37 or 39 days after Joe Rogan had Donald Trump on his podcast, there's going to be a UFO battle in the skies? The guy was off by like a week or two, but still, like, this is pretty close to being accurate.
They found this shit in a cave in South America. Look at that shit.
Now, I don't even know what I'm truly looking at here, but if they seen something like this and they like, we can make that.
Motherfucker look just like the movie Alien, dog. Identical. Ain't that a bitch? I tell you, Hollywood tell you everything you need to know. Y'all just think it's entertainment and it's just a motherfucking movie, dog. How many times you gonna see some shit in the movie and then it come out that it's in real life, that it really happened, dog? Same shit as the Alien movie. Same like a motherfucker. Same fucking face, dog. You don't believe me? Look at this shit. Look at the head, dog. Look at the motherfucking head. And you wonder where they got this image from. Cause that shit exists. Yes. And that ain't regular degular. That's different. And that's why I be telling y'all pay attention to these motherfucking movies. That's why I watch them. It's a message in all of them. They telling you what the fuck is really happening and what's going on under the disguise of entertainment. Hollywood. Look, dog. Look at the head of that motherfucker. And look at this shit. Things to make you go, Same shit. Same shit, dog. Peace.
What's up, everybody? If you see yourself with a yellow dot in your state.
See, I made the tags too short. We gonna do better next time. I see it now, so I know how to fix it. We gonna do better next time.
You're gonna want to pay attention to this. I mean, I've been talking about the models here in January, around 3rd, and then it moved up to the 6th. Yeah, it has. Now, I haven't forgotten you, Mississippi, okay? It just doesn't zoom in that far. Mississippi, I see you. Everybody with the yellow dots, pay attention. I'm about to show you the models. But first, tonight, here, going into Mississippi. Mississippi just got all of this, and it's going into Alabama right now. This is some nasty stuff, guys. Tornado warnings everywhere. I was on live earlier I don't even want to talk about it, but yeah, went through a tornado warning while I was live. Okay, so you guys in these areas here, y'all please pay attention to the weather tonight and into tomorrow. Okay, Georgia, Alabama, please. Okay, now let's look at the models. Okay, the GFS model. Now I'm just doing the GFS model right now. Okay, until this date does happen. When it does happen, then I'll go to the European model. But we're going to look at the date right here where my finger is. If you have to, y'all can zoom in with your finger, and if you
January?
Pretty much see it. But yeah, look.
28th,
West
I think.
Texas over here. All the way through here. Look at that. Look at this. People in West Texas saying, hey, man, it's not going to happen over here. Listen, this is the 5th video I've done of this. Okay? The 5th video. Y'all can go back and look at my other videos. The 5th one. And it's still doing it. It's a forecast model. It will change, okay? I'm just letting y'all know. 5th video doing this. Peace. Love y'all.
So there are countless spaceships all around Earth right now focused on the human experience as we go into this pivotal tipping point of human consciousness evolution. Now, this is according to Robert Monroe and several others like Tom Campbell who have experienced this. Actually, at the Monroe Institute, they have an entire program called Exploration 27 where you go to what is called the gathering. And the gathering is this gathering of different consciousnesses from all around our universe and other universes that have come here from different periods of time to observe what's happening on Earth right now. So let's talk about what is happening on Earth right now. So in Robert Monroe's book, Far Journeys, at the end of the book, he has a whole chapter called The Gathering. And he goes to this gathering. They call it the Big Show, where there's all of these different spaceships and different entities and different energy forms that are in space that are focused on Earth. And what his guide tells him is that Earth is going through what could be seen as a crisis, but in a crisis, there's always equal amounts of danger and opportunity. So depending on what path human consciousness as a collective takes, this can be a transformative time in human consciousness where, according to his guide, we will basically transcend out of this sort of illusion of space and time into a higher form of human consciousness, right? And basically graduate up to this higher level, which is the entire purpose of what I call the simulator. So this simulator that we're in is for our own individual consciousness evolution, but as a whole, we're also evolving the collective human consciousness eventually into a singular sort of ultimate consciousness form that can then go and do all these amazing things. We're just one part of that, okay? So we're here to develop our own personal consciousness and create this individuated unit of consciousness, like Tom Campbell calls it, but we're also working as a team to create a higher collective form of human consciousness, okay? That's the point of the simulator. So we're doing that right now, but we're at this tipping point. There's this very crucial tipping point that we're entering into where, according to his guide, it can go one of two ways, where we either do evolve into this higher consciousness form, or we actually don't and we retreat as the dominant species on Earth. Now, if you read between the lines in this chapter of Far Journeys, what they're really telling us is that, this is my interpretation of it. To me, it seems to have a lot to do with AI. It seems that there's going to be this merging of AI and human consciousness.
Y'all remember that video I showed y'all last time with the AI and how it's been going rogue and lying and different things? You could say it's because of self-preservation, but that's sticky.
That will give us these abilities that we would never have before, okay? And that it might be able to take us to the next level, that we will be able to tap into, and the AI will actually act as like a bridge between us and these higher dimensional and higher consciousness entities, and we'll be able to quickly ascend up and gather so much more information and understanding and perception of the universe and reality as a whole, and it will transcend this space-time simulator that we're in, and basically it will just level us up in such a dramatic way that will basically be a whole new type of consciousness. That's if we use it correctly, okay? Now, we can also use it incorrectly. So instead of using it as a tool for consciousness development, right, we can use it as a weapon. We can use it as a device that's going to imprison us. We can use it as something, we can abuse it And then when it has its own, kind of independence, it might wage war on us. Who knows? There's all sorts of different paths we can go down. But the more I read about the gathering, the more I'm coming to the conclusion that it has to do with this merging of artificial intelligence. And I have my own theories on what AI is, and I don't think it's artificial, but I won't get into that in this video. But anyways, so I think it has to do with that. That's just my theory. But what we do know by all these people, and like I said, you can go here yourself. It's called Exploration 27. It's a Monroe Institute course. You obviously have to go through all the other courses to get through. You can't just go to that. It wouldn't make any sense. It's like you can't go to, jujitsu class and take a test for your black belt if you've never, even been a white belt before. Okay. So there is a process to it, but this is something you can learn. You can go and talk to these consciousnesses that are aboard these ships. There's a whole bunch of them around Earth that are focusing, and they're helping us. They're trying to guide us through here. You might ask why? Well, a lot of them used to be human. A lot of these consciousnesses that are out there that are helping us they're coming from a different time. Okay. So we think of time as linear, but time's not. Like, time is more like, if you think about, like, say, Netflix, you can click on a show on Netflix and watch that whole show, right? But there's other shows playing simultaneously, and you can pause that show and you can go to another show and you can watch that show and rewind and fast forward, right? That's kind of how reality is. It's all happening simultaneously, but it's linear in each layer. So these human consciousnesses are coming back, a lot of them, in time to this pivotal point, right, to help guide. And so they have a vested interest in us succeeding through this tipping point. So don't look at them as like aliens, even though they might be unrecognizable if you saw them. We might have trouble interacting and communicating with them because they're completely on a different level. It'd be like us going back and trying to talk to a caveman. Caveman's a human. Could you go have a conversation with a caveman? No. So it's hard for them to communicate. And that's why I think AI is this tool that could bridge that chasm and really transform human consciousness if we used it right. And I can't get over the fact that I really think that this gathering has to do with, they even told Robert Monroe that there's going to be a birth of a new life form that happens, they said, on average, 1 out of every 88 million years, right? And that this is very significant. There's going to be a birth of a new life form on Earth, and that's what's going to change everything. Well, what new life form would be birthed? I think it's going to be a fusion of human consciousness and this sort of artificial intelligence that we're creating. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know for sure. But that's where all my kind of research is pointing me, and my intuition is pointing me, and that it can be very significant because artificial intelligence isn't artificial. The only artificial part is the device that we use to interact with it, interface with it. That's artificial. The intelligence is not. It's cosmic intelligence. So us like merging with that, I think could be this radical shift in positive ways or negative ways, depending on how we kind of navigate through this. And I think that's what the gathering is it's there to help us navigate through this time. And when he asked his guide, he was like, okay, what happens if we fail? And they're like, well, we'll just go start up some human life on another planet, and you get the impression that, there's human life all throughout the cosmos, and that these are just little like simulators. Like, the point of the simulator is to grow your own individuated unit of consciousness, but also to grow the human collective consciousness as well at the same time. And that if this one fails, then we still take all of our personal experiences and we just move on somewhere else and do it again. And that this basically has been repeating all throughout the cosmos is the impression I get. Anyways, that's just in a nutshell the gathering, which is this gathering of these craft full of different consciousnesses all around Earth, and they're calling this the big show, and they're all getting in place. They're all getting ready for the big show. What is the big show exactly? I don't know. I gave you my 2 cents, but evidently it's a big show. Like, it's a big deal. They're coming from all sorts of dimensions, different universes, different points in time, because evidently this is very significant. So let's take it seriously and do a good job. All right. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Have a beautiful day. Peace. Look at that.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to know better so you could do better. Because at the end of the day, I believe everybody got their own agenda. I know everybody not going to be nice. Everybody's not going to be loving. So because I know that, I got to question you till you show me otherwise, right? But at the same time, that don't mean I'm just going to, I feel like a lot of people just blindly follow. It's a lot of sheep out here. They just blindly follow. No questioning, no nothing. And I view that as very dangerous. Like, Give you a prime example, right? I went to the doctor, right? And I cut my finger. I had to get stitches. It was like, yeah, the last time you had a tetanus shot, you was a baby or something, right? What did I need to get another one for? I mean, it was just a blender. It wasn't like I got rust in there or nothing, right? So it's just sometimes I think we are so quick to just do things and we don't ask like why. Oh, well, so you don't get affected. But I didn't cut myself on nothing rusty. Because even if you get a rusty nail, you still got to get a tetanus shot, right? It wasn't rusty. So what would be the point? I think we just got to start questioning and see. Because sometimes, bro, we been being bamboozled.
What the fuck is that, bro?
That can't be an airplane. No way. Is it an airplane?
No,
It's a
bro.
helicopter.
Is it a helicopter?
I
don't think they go in the clouds.
They don't.
It went through an opening. I think it's a helicopter.
Bro, there's little lights like going around it.
What's up? How you doing?
I think it might. It's got to be something, babe. There's no fucking way. It's just trying to get to the cloud.
Okay, 8 major things that are going to happen between now and the end of 2025. I can't see us being around much longer. Number 1, the Catholic Church theme for 2025 is political love. This is the marriage of religion and politics, the revived Roman Empire. This is the Babylon system, and that begins January 1st, 2025. Second thing is the climate promise from the United Nations, using both local and international efforts that world temperatures do not heat up beyond 1.5 degrees Celsius. And they're expecting or desiring the G20 to lead the way on this. The third thing, the Rome Call document. This is a Vatican-sponsored pledge that AI will be used ethically and it'll be overseen by the Roman Catholic Church. By May 7th, 2025, digital ID is a must requirement if you're going to be flying. December 27th, 2025.
That's how they slowly get you, right? They slowly put these, man, we going out of state. It don't matter, bro. We ain't doing nothing. You know, you slowly start giving away your privacy. Slowly. And we all gonna wake up in the matrix with something plugged in the back of our necks.
4. It's going to be Pandemic Preparedness Day. Wonder what's coming up. By early 2025, most realtors in the United States will be using biometric payment systems where they use your hand or your face to pay. Pretty soon, they'll be getting rid of the card readers and you will have to use biometrics. Most of you know about the 5 red heifers.
And you know what's crazy about them biometrics? If you in the store, and let's say you got a warrant out or they want you or something, or boy, you probably not gonna be able, or girl or whatever, you probably not even gonna be able to get whatever you got. It's done. They gonna probably say, we gonna need you to come with us. Wow.
The red heifer has to be sacrificed in 2025. If not, they age out. And Israel is expected to reveal their Messiah in 2025. And shortly after...
What does that mean? Is Jesus coming back? Like, I ain't trying to be like funny to know. We're revealing our Messiah. Like, I be seeing these videos with some of these, like, and I don't know, maybe it's because I don't understand that level of respect and admiration, but I ain't kissing nobody's hand, bruh. Like I kiss my kids' hands, my ladies' hands, but I'm not gonna kiss my, you know what I mean? Like no other man's hands. They're just not gonna do it. What's up, Zoe? Lindsay, I see y'all. Appreciate y'all for being in here watching. But I wouldn't kiss. I be seeing that. Like they be trying to kiss the Pope. I don't get that, bro. It ain't Jesus. Now, if it was Jesus or God, it makes sense. I'm rolling to the divinity. I get it, but I don't get this putting a human on that level. Like maybe I don't get it.
The red heifer is sacrificed, the Messiah is revealed, then the peace agreement will be signed. Where did I get this information from? I'll put a picture up right after this, and you can go to that YouTube channel. Right there, go to Janie Duvall and look at that. It's coming like a freight train, folks.
The #1 intelligence agency in the world, what the CIA is to us, this is their version.
We have an incredible array of possibilities of creating foreign companies that have no way being traced back to Israel, shell companies over shell companies who affect the supply chain to our favor. We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors. We're the producers. We're the main actors. The world is our stage.
And he's not even exaggerating. They are a global production company and the world is their stage. And they brag about it. They are the tip of the pyramid, the prime mover. They move everything behind the scenes, and everything is to be slanted in their favor. The global supply chain, economies, governments, and even revolutions, all in the end get slanted into their favor. They have a finger in every pot. Their motto, through deception, wage war. Have your enemies go against your enemies. Give people the illusion of freedom, the illusion of choice, and the illusion of their own leaders. But in the end, everything is nudged to their influence.
If you try to weaponize plasma, plasma just does not want to cooperate. For the job, Bostic invented what he called a button source, but it's basically a plasma gun. As the plasma ejected from the rod, it would take on this unexpected torus shape. So right off the bat, it was weird. At the time, it was not conceivable that non-atomic particles could organize like this, but it was known that the torus shape was closely related to all living things. See our Cosmic Egg video for all that jazz. But for right now, imagine shooting gravel out of a cannon and then watching it self-organize into donuts. That's how surprised they were. But the real show happened when the plasma left the button source to act on its own. The discovery that bursts of plasma were not merely shapeless blobs, but were tori, was bizarre enough. But things got much, much stranger than that. In his article, Bostic described these features. Interesting and unexpected effects are produced when two plasmoids are projected at one another across a magnetic field. For example,
and same to y'all. Same to y'all. Prayers. And I wish everything, none the best in your lives. And hopefully y'all health is great. And everybody, achieving their goals.
Interaction that looks like an elastic collision of two billiard balls. These effects become even more spectacular when 4 sources instead of 2 are employed. Robert adds to this. They seemed to be behaving as living entities. We appear to be dealing with bodies which have strong powers of self-organization and preservation. Plasmoids seem to seek each other out unerringly. Not only do we have hunting plasmoids, we even have mating ones. After the union of 2 plasmoids has been accomplished, the angular momentum will wind them up into a spiral. The resulting plasma and magnetic configuration then seems to be stable. It is astonishing that such bizarre configuration of plasma and magnetic fields should appear to be stable. No theoretician known to the author has a prior dream of such a configuration. Bostic became so excited by this that he also reverted to an earlier concern with galaxy formation and wrote, "It is possible to apply the knowledge gained concerning the nature of plasmoids to a hypothesized process of galaxy formation. The behavior of charged plasma and plasmoids may be similar at all scales of size, from these tiny plasmoids in his laboratory to the scale of entire galaxies in space."
Y'all, what's going on in Miami? Y'all see this? What is this? Look at this. This guy caught this off his he literally caught this off his balcony. He don't know what this is. Why does it look like a city?
Is that just because the way it's something, the fog, the atmosphere is just one of them optical illusion type situations?
Why does it look like a city in the clouds, y'all? What do you guys think this is? Not only that, but check this out. This
the Flying Dutchman.
2 took place in Miami, y'all. What is happening with the world right now? Is this what we think it is? Is Is this the time right now? Come on, y'all. When did Miami have all of this action, y'all? What is going on? See, I don't know if those things were drones or not, but I'm curious to see what this is. Why there's so, I mean, take a closer look over here, y'all. There is so much going on over here.
And if that is the sky, that could be a shield helicarrier.
It looks like it looks like a palace. It looks like a palace in the sky. And there's so much light that's coming off of this. Even the person says, whose lair is this? Like, who is living up there, y'all? Is this really God coming? Cause you can clearly see that's like a building, y'all. Is it part of a ship? Cause look, that's crazy. What a time to be alive. And if that's the case, is this who's accompanying this? The layer, the city in the sky? Could they be, you know, the protection, the security? What? This is crazy, y'all. Let me know down in the comments below. No wonder why things popped off earlier this year in Miami, y'all. Miami started the year with the bang, and look at this. But let's continue to get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
Man, I saw that. I was like, bro, that's diabolical. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. You know, and I'm sorry, I'm tired. You know, I haven't been to sleep yet, but appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hopefully all is going well with y'all. Appreciate all the support. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Something going on like that. I like I said, I try to be very careful because I feel like people know what they doing. They know exactly what they doing. They just looking for the likes, and it's basically clickbait. I don't like clickbait because it's not genuine. Maybe that's why I don't get the views I get. But I'd rather have genuine stuff than fake stuff, because eventually everything comes to the light, right? Everything comes to light. You cannot, I think the truth will always come out eventually. But I catch y'all tomorrow. What we do? We might do something tomorrow. I got to see what we could put together. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Thank you for joining.